This house behind me is a brand new construction, and it sits on almost 1 acre of a lot. Now, if this was located almost anywhere else in the Kansas City metro, you're talking probably at least 100 grand more. But because it's right here in Grandview, Missouri, it is really, really cheap. You're not gonna believe how cheap. Stick around to the end and we're gonna tour this property. Now, if you stick around, we're gonna also check out all that Grandview has to offer, because this place actually has some of the best value for the money in the entire Kansas City metro. Let's go. So from one new build to another, this is also a new build in Grandview that has incredible value. In fact, I can't see many new builds that you're gonna find cheaper. Now, I will say, kind of a funky layout though, so you're gonna have to stick around with me to decide if you like it or not. Let's head inside. We are inside this brand new build in Grandview, and it's pretty cheap. You get a brand new house, but there are some significant cons to it as well, like I was hinting outside. So first, the size, I think the space is a little bit limited. So you've got this layout here where you've got a living room, kitchen, and everything, but it does feel really small. It feels like you're right on top of one another. But what I will say is that all the stuff in here is really, really nice. First, you've got your stove that provides good heat to the rest of the house. Looks like, I don't know if you can cook anything in there, don't take my word for it. I don't think that's the type of stove that this is for. And then yeah, if you do want an area to eat, this is going to be the only place that you can put a smaller table, because otherwise you won't be able to fit anything else. So coming through here, this is a really nice kitchen, but you know, I've seen bigger kitchens even in townhomes and condos. All this material is pretty nice. It's top notch. You've got your granite, you've got soft closed doors and cabinets, as you can see. Brand new everything, nice electric oven. You've got a beautiful stove that overlooks your backyard that we're gonna see in a little bit, or a sink that overlooks your backyard that we can see in a little bit. And then you got a space for your fridge. So all of this is pretty good, A+ in terms of execution, in terms of the layout. That's really up to you to decide. But again, new construction, new house in Grandview. Coming through here, you've got the master suite. And again, you know, honestly, I like this pattern of wallpaper. I think it's pretty high quality, nicely done. It's a nice accent, and look outside. It's a really nice big window. These are both picture windows, they don't open, but you do get a nice view of the front yard. Now, another con of this is you can see it's a pretty busy street, and there's no street parking. We like to have a ton of guests over. All you really have is that driveway that I showed you, and then you have people consistently going by your house. And if you're really, really quiet, you can hear the traffic going back and forth and back and forth. It's not distracting by any means. It's not like a roar, but it is a constant drone of traffic going by. Come into here and you're gonna see a pretty nice primary bathroom. Right off primary bedroom, you have the primary bathroom. Double vanity. I like this kind of design. I don't know, are these drawers? I don't even think these are, oh, they are drawers that you can pull out and use. So that's pretty nice. His and her sink. And then behind me, a pretty nicely tiled shower with this great basin. And then behind me, you've got a decently sized walk-in closet. This is bigger than my closet at home, but that's not saying much because I don't have that many clothes. But in here, you could probably fit his and hers just fine. Again, is it gonna be the best value in the metro? Probably the best value new build, because this does have a full basement and more bedrooms downstairs, but you know, you're giving up some stuff. But I wanted to show you what a new house in Grandview looks like. But again, we're gonna see a crazy value new house in Grandview later in the video if you stick around. And if you wanna buy a new build in Grandview or anywhere else in the Kansas City metro, 816-4-MOVE-KC, we're gonna be the people to help you out. Right off the kitchen, you have your laundry room, and it is pretty tight. You can see that when the door's open. You've got, you know, if I open this door, you couldn't even see it, but you put your laundry washer dryer back there. It's nice that it's all on one level, and then in here, you've got a half bath. In fact, I won't even try to fit in there with you. All you have is a very skinny area for a toilet and a sink. Now let's go back outside and check out what kind of backyard you get for this new build in Grandview. Now I will say that while the front yard leaves, you know, a little bit to be liking, this is a pretty decently sized backyard. You've got large enough area here that if you fence this in, this is good enough for your kids. In fact, come out here and you can see. Now, this person over here, she seems to have a really nice backyard. She's got the soccer goal and the volleyball goal and everything there, or volleyball net, I should say. But this is not terrible. And then you've got right across the street here too. what I will do is I will warn you, if you're gonna buy a new build in an established neighborhood, you better plan to stay here for a long, long time, okay? If you want to at least recoup the value of this new build. I would say that if you bought this new build for, I'll tell you the price in a little bit, but if you bought this new build right now and you wanted me to sell it in a year for more than you bought it for, chances are of that happening are basically zero. So stay in here, make sure that you like it enough, and that's kind of one of the things that make me hesitate, because this, while a nice finish, a nice build, is, if you grow, if your family grows, if you have more people live with you, it's gonna kind of limit you. So let's go downstairs. But I don't ever want to tell you anything that would get you in a bad financial position, so that's why I'm telling you both pros and cons. I mean, the pros are obviously it's a new build, you've got plenty of space, more bedrooms down here, it's cool, it's modern, it's neat. But the cons are, you know, you're going to be stuck here a long time if you ever want to make any equity in your sale. This is, you can see on the ground level, you can see the nice backyard. And then come through here, let me show you this. This is one of the bedrooms. I like this bedroom a lot, actually, because it's nice and cool down here. It's in the basement. This is one of the biggest window wells I've ever seen. I'll show you on the other side, but this has an egress, and you can see it's dug down all the way through, and the other bedroom on the other side also shares this extremely large window well. So let's go over here, through this living area, and you've actually got 3 full bedrooms down here. So there's more bedrooms on the bottom than on the top. How I would feel about that if I had my kids down here and me up there, I'm not sure if I would like it, but you know, it would work, I guess, if you really needed it to work. Coming here, you can see a really nice bathroom as well, nicely finished. And then through here is bedroom number 3, again sharing one of the largest window wells that I've ever seen, goes all the way across and connects both of these bedrooms. Now coming to the last bedroom, before you get there, I mean, this is kind of where all your utilities are. So you're gonna have to come down here in order to check out change the filter or whatever. This is the last bedroom overlooking the backyard. And you can see the nice new HVAC or AC system, and everything is new, which is a great plus for if you're buying a new home. However, again, for the value, it's just gonna have to be up to you to decide, right? So what do I mean by the value? So this home in Grandview is $300,000. $300,000 for a new build with a full basement, finished. Kind of unheard of. I mean, that's really not happening across the Kansas City Metro anymore, but it is small. It is kind of a compromised layout. And then you're gonna have to decide, it's in Grandview, which is why you're getting that great value, but do you wanna live in Grandview or do you wanna live somewhere else? Because $300,000 can probably get you a 1,500 to 1,600 square foot home in Gladstone, Liberty, and Lee Summit. You probably couldn't necessarily get that in Overland Park, but you might be able to find something in like Roland Park, Shawnee, maybe Lenexa. Those areas might be a lot more desirable than here, but you do get a new home here. So tell me, comment below, what are the pros and cons? What do you value? Do you like this layout? I don't know. Now, Grandview proper doesn't have a ton of things to do, but this is Main Street. So you can take a quick look around. Behind me, this bridge behind there is Interstate 49, runs straight down right through Grandview. Down there, you can see as you turn around, you have a few things to do, you know, smaller town. It's very much a small town. If you want to stay within Grandview, your entertainment options are going to be pretty limited. A few parks, a few areas to explore. But again, most people who move out here, they want to be like 20 to 30 minutes away from downtown Kansas City, depending on where in Grandview you land. And they also want the value that they can get for the home that they can get. Remember, we started at that home where I said it could be more than $100,000 more if you picked up that home and that land and moved it to another area of the metro. It could be more than $100,000 more, which is obviously, you're like, well, duh, if you moved it to like California, it'd be like $1 million. Yeah, I know that, okay? But I'm talking about even moving it like 20 to 30 minutes. 10 to 20 miles down the road to like Olathe instead of Grandview, it's gonna be way more. So the value is here, but again, it's gonna be more of a quiet city if you wanna just stay within the city limits. But the good thing is, 49 takes you right down into the heart of downtown Kansas City. You could be there within 20 minutes, 30 minutes, depending on where in Grandview you live. So this is Main Street. Let's go check out some more homes. Like I said before, there's not much to do in Grandview proper, but there is Meadowmere Park, and this park is actually pretty cool. Better than a lot of different parks in the Kansas City Metro. We're kind of far away, but all the way out there, and you can probably see it better on the drone footage, you've got your full playground and area here. Over here, you've got the rare skate park. So if you come over here, you can see the skate park. Again, hot day today, so you don't have a ton of people out. Tons of space to run around, have a soccer game, have a baseball game, wiffle ball game. And what's nice about this too is that you're right across the street from the View Community Center, which is also located in Grandview. So you have a gym in there, and then you have a pool in there. And the nice thing is you can kind of see it. Again, you can see it better on the drone, but you can see that there's a fully functioning, really nice splash pad for your kids to enjoy. I mean, on a day like today, it's gonna be sweltering. You're gonna wanna take your kids to a splash pad. My kids love the splash pad in Gillum Park. That's the closest one to us. We go almost daily now, so we can get the kids all nice and crisp and ready to go to bed early because, I mean, the heat just kind of bakes them. But that is one of the coolest, I wouldn't say one of the coolest, but that is a pretty cool splash pad for this area. This house is actually one of the cheapest in the Grandview area, and it is well under $200,000. Now, you can be the judge of what you get for that. There's some pretty serious basement issues that I kind of want to show you, but it's got a good lot. I mean, you can look around, look at this neighborhood. Grandview gets kind of a bad rap. I mean, if you look around, it's a peaceful neighborhood, it's a peaceful, quiet area. Grandview sometimes can get a little bit of a bad rap because sometimes the houses here are just not as nice. Sometimes, you know, people sometimes will cite the crime statistics, although I don't think Grandview is unsafe at all. But then it kind of affects the price of homes. So you can decide if one of the cheapest listings in one of Kansas City's cheapest areas is gonna work for you. Honestly, I think that there's a lot to like about this house and there's a lot not to like about this house. And I'm gonna point it all out to you when you come out here. But this is why, you know, you wanna reach out to us if you're moving out to Kansas City, because we're gonna just shoot straight with you. 816-4-MOVE-KC. 816-4-MOVE-KC is our number. Send us a text, give us a call, shoot us an email. We will get in touch with you and we will talk to you about your move to Kansas City like we have hundreds of other clients before. As you come into this open area here, this is a seating area. Probably was maybe at one time some type of front porch that was renovated. I've seen these completely enclosed before. You can put a chair right here, but it's not a ton of room. You can see I'm about 6 feet 1 inch, and I can almost touch from side to side. So it's a little bit smaller. Once you get in here, of course, it's much, much bigger. So you do have this living area that is right off the front. It can be pretty cute if you do make it nice. Now, one thing I want to point out to you, these outlets are not grounded, okay? So not only are you going to have to get that little annoying 3-prong outlet thing that you can plug into there, your TV won't be protected in case of a surge. Now you can mitigate that in many ways, of course, but there's already one thing that you're gonna have to update: electrical, okay? Come in here and you're gonna see this is the first bedroom, and you can decide whether or not you like this flooring. I mean, for this price point, remember, well under $200,000, you're not necessarily gonna get the best materials and the best everything, but this is a serviceable house. If you're looking for a first house for you, your family, whatever you're looking for, I mean, this could be something that you might want to consider because it actually doesn't have such a bad size lot, such a bad size backyard. Now, if we come into here, you've got this, I would imagine, would be your dining area. You have a round circular table that you could put, or you can put a rectangular table, however you want to do it. But this would be best utilized for just sitting, relaxing, having a meal with friends and loved ones, and then off to bedroom number 2. Now, the wonkiness part of it is partly because it's like, you know, you're coming out of a bedroom to your dining room, and then you're going from your dining room to your bedroom. I mean, it's just a little bit strange. You know, I'm not gonna lie, it's a little bit strange, but you do have a serviceable bedroom here. Now, 2 things about this bedroom. Number 1, I don't see, I see the same type of flooring. I don't see any grounded outlets. Number 2 is, you probably can't tell in the video, but if I'm just standing still, I'm kind of leaning backwards here because of the slope of the floor. And that's gonna be because what I found for you in the basement later on in the video. We're gonna check that out, but it kind of leans this way. In fact, I would hazard a guess that if you were to put something round on the floor, it would just kind of roll just like that. You can see my chapstick rolling. Now, that may not be any big issue at all, but that may be a sign of something wrong with the foundation. And I think for this house, it might be a little bit of the ladder. I don't think it's like a fatal flaw in the house that you can't live in this house, but I do think it's something you want to consider. Now, across the hall, again, from your dining room, you've got another bedroom. Now, this bedroom is sizable. None of these bedrooms you're really gonna comfortably fit a king-size bed in here. Queen, maybe. Full is gonna be more like it. Now, this does have an ensuite bathroom, which is actually pretty unique for this price point. And you can see that when you're looking at a house that has been flipped, most of the sellers are going to focus on a few key areas: the kitchen and bathrooms. So this is a new vanity. You've got a new tub. Honestly, that's a pretty big tub, bigger than the tub that I have in my own house. And then you've got a new toilet, and that's mostly what they're gonna focus on. Now here's a unique thing. This bedroom does actually have a closet that, if you follow me, connects to the other bedroom up top. So if you're counting with me, this is 4 bedrooms. Now we're in this closet, so if you were to use this closet, both of these bedrooms would share this closet. But if you come through here, this by far, yes, it is a bedroom, but it is by far the smallest bedroom. I mean, if you fit a twin size bed, you could fit it right here, and that would be about all the space that you have in this room. Again, if I spread out my arms, you can see I'm almost touching side to side this room. So it is pretty small. Now come back through here, and then we find ourselves back in the living area again. Follow me to the kitchen, and you'll see again, this is a flip, so they spent some money on cabinets, the countertops. They do look nice. This is real granite, okay? This is very much a renter's stove, as I call it, just very disposable, very cheap. And then on this side, you also have, a 50-50 sink. And again, these newer cabinets, nothing has been used in these, but these doors, a little bit flimsier. I would say I don't want to say cheap feeling, that's too pejorative, but it's just not the best quality that you're gonna get. Okay, brand new microwave though. Look, you can be the first one. If you bought this house, you can be the first one to peel this off. I'll say that for you when you buy this house. Okay, 8164 move KC. Now, here's a couple things too to notice about this. Come down through here, and this house is pretty old. So we're gonna see a very old foundation in Grandview and what that looks like. But before we get there, let's take a look, number one, at the backyard, okay? Like I said before, for under $200,000, you're not getting a bad sized backyard. You can see you've got a nice porch area. You can kind of relax, and it goes all the way back there, okay? Come over here, and you'll see a huge satellite dish, okay? So you can also use this as a space station to call your friends on the ISS, okay? This reminds me, if you've seen the first James Bond with Pierce Brosnan, you remember they had this huge satellite dish that launched the nuclear missiles or something like that. That's probably about the size of this satellite dish in your backyard. I've never seen a satellite dish to house ratio quite like this before. Honestly, it's pretty amazing, and you should buy this house right now because of it. But this is incredible. You'll get extraterrestrial channels if it were, okay? That may not be true, so don't hold me to that, but that is a crazy satellite dish. Let's go downstairs, and what we'll see is you've got a stone foundation, which is pretty common for this. Also pretty common for these too is this is literally spray foam insulation, kind of keeping your foundation together. And so, whether that's here nor there. Now, as we come inside, you can see, if you remember, the side that I rolled my chapstick on, where the floors were kind of leaning, that was this side. So you can probably tell, even through the camera, that there's a pretty significant bulge on this side of the wall. And then you can see down here, there's plenty of moisture at the very bottom. And this would be a huge red flag for me if I was showing you this house. I would say get a structural engineer to check this out, because you don't want water in your basement, and you don't want this wall to continue caving in, because already the floors upstairs are a little bit wonky. It probably needs to be pushed back out, either by I-beams, by some type of bracing that can just shore up this wall. Now the rest of it is going to be used for storage. I've actually seen foundations like this finished out, and they don't usually look good. So this I would leave alone, okay? I would get this waterproof, no more water coming in, and I would just leave this foundation alone, because you can use this for storage, that's great, but this is not gonna look good finished. I mean, like I said, I'm 6'1", I can barely stand up in here, especially when the ducting is here. I can't stand up, and you're gonna have to accommodate for all of this. So just leave this alone, put your stuff down here, and then fix the issues that you see. So, how much do you think this house would go for? With the biggest satellite dish to house ratio in Kansas City, this house is on the market for $162,000. Again, that's really, really cheap for the area, but hey, you're in Grandview, it's gonna be a little bit less desirable area, but you're also gonna get a lot more home for the money. If you pick up this home, you put it elsewhere in Kansas City, I mean, you could see it could be pushing $180,000 to $200,000. Let's go back to that beautiful first house where we started at, and we're gonna finish and see what a brand new construction on 1 acre looks like in Kansas City's cheapest area, Grandview. We are back here at this brand new construction. In fact, it's only 1 year old here in Grandview, Missouri. And like I said in the intro, it sits on an acre lot. It's 0.98 acres, so almost an acre. Come on inside and you're gonna see it's a huge house, over 3,000 square feet. And again, like I said before, if this was in Lenexa, if this is in Overland Park, you're paying way, way more than you are with it being here in Grandview. Now, we've seen other Grandview homes, but we haven't seen anything quite like this. Grandview has been up and down in terms of its value and preserving its value. And I'm not gonna tell you exactly that it's always going to appreciate as nicely as some of these other areas will, like Liberty or Lee Summit or Olathe or Overland Park. But if you're just looking for value and this is like your final home and you just want a huge home, new construction, so you don't have to worry about the components, the roof and all that stuff, this is a great option. Very nice new construction. You can see immediately you come in, you have this very open concept. So you've got living room here, kitchen, state of the art, really nice stainless steel appliances that do stay with the property. And then like we've seen in a lot of these layouts, you have your eating area on that side too. So notice with it being new construction, brand new floors, right? This is nice luxury plank. This is gonna be, you know, maintenance free, hopefully for a little bit until you do scratch it up and have to change it out. But again, brand new construction. Check out this mantle and this fireplace beneath it. The shiplap has become pretty popular nowadays. You've got this nice wood mantle with this nice stone fireplace. That looks like it's an electric fireplace that is very common in these new construction builds. Now, if you look up, you have vaulted ceilings, and it is very expansive in here. Like I said, over 3,000 finished square feet. Wait until you see the basement, because there are actually 3 full bedrooms in the basement along with a massive living area. But then, like I said, over here, you've got your eating area and this beautiful brand new kitchen. You've got a nice gas stove. You've got the state-of-the-art, really good looking sink with the faucet here. And then this huge countertop where you can cook, distribute your food, and everybody can have a good time hanging out in this large room as you entertain people with the game, with video games, whatever you do to pass your time. This is a great room for it. Now you can also see it comes with the fridge, and then, which is pretty rare for newer construction, and then also has a walk-in pantry. So that is really nice as well if you don't want to keep your cabinets, if you want to keep your cabinets free of clutter. Right next to it, you see this beautiful mud room where you can come in through your oversized 2-car garage, drop all your stuff, take off all your shoes, hang all your coats, and then get on with your day. Now follow me outside and we're gonna get a little glimpse into how big this lot is. Of course you could see it on the drone footage, but there's nothing like looking at the view that you would experience if you decided to live here. So go ahead and put a table out here. You can come out here and you can relax, kick your feet up, and you can see the lot is long and rectangular. It goes all the way down to that other fence line. It also has, I think it's also kind of probably right in between where the soccer goals are. So you can see as families live here, that family there is in newer construction. They've built a kind of outside shed, probably has power, plumbing, electrical, roof, and everything. You could do the same thing here if you wanted to enhance your space. But honestly, if my kids lived here, they would just spend a ton of time outside playing soccer on the soccer goal, you know, probably hunting for bugs, doing all that stuff. You definitely have to get a riding lawnmower because it's not gonna be something that you want to push mow with an acre. Now I know a lot of you are coming from places where, look, you're living on smaller lots, and this is just massive to you. I'm from Los Angeles and I can relate with you. I know that coming from where I come from, like a 3,000 square foot lot for a whole home is gonna be pretty big. But you know, here we have acre lots. So if you're moving from one of these places like New York, Los Angeles, Boston, where the houses are more packed together, give us a call, 816-4-MOVE-KC. There are some surprising things about acreage that you really do have to find out, particularly about septic. Now I think this is on city sewer, but particularly about septic, particularly about lot lines, boundary lines, surveys. We know all of that stuff, and our team would be happy to help you figure out if living on acreage is right for you. But as I finish out here, just take a look. I mean, it's huge, it's massive. You got this nice tree line. I think it's gonna be really peaceful in the winter as well. You can picture this completely covered in snow. You can picture this as the leaves start to turn, and it's just a really beautiful time. It's kind of hot right now. It is the middle of summer, and it is picking up. It's getting hot and humid, so let's go back inside and check out the rest of the first floor. So we'll save the primary suite for last because it is pretty stunning, but we're gonna go down here. And so there are 2 bedrooms. There's 5 total bedrooms, conforming bedrooms too, on this house. There's 2 up here and then 3 downstairs. So as we come through here, you're gonna have first a full bathroom here, and take a peek in there. Look at that tile work. It's really cool looking, really modern looking. Fits the I'd say the vibe of the house really well. And of course, this is your front bedroom. Many people will use this as an office. as a guest bedroom. You can use this for whatever you want if you're moving here with your kids, if you're moving here by yourself. I mean, we do have everything on one level living, which is pretty nice. But you can see in this bedroom, you can easily fit a king size bed, your desk, and then you have plenty of closet space right here. This is an oversized closet for a room this size. And so all your clothes and stuff could easily fit here. In fact, all of my clothes could probably fit on one rack. I don't know if you're somebody who has a lot of clothes. One thing I wanted to notice too is pay attention to the small details. Typically this is kind of like a ball bearing that pops up and goes into a slot underneath here, but these are actually magnets. So if you come a little bit closer, you can see that as soon as you get kind of close, the magnets kind of align and just snap into place. And it's actually a lot smoother than the ball bearings because the magnets actually aren't touching each other. So that's actually pretty cool. Never seen that before. Shown tons of new construction homes, but that's the first time I've seen that. Come on this side and we're gonna get to the primary suite. So as we walk through here, again, take a look at this big, wide room here, and then we're gonna go through here and look at this primary suite. I like this primary suite because number one, it overlooks your beautiful acre backyard. I guess it's not quite an acre back there because you do have some place in the front that takes up the total amount of acreage, but here you would put a nice big king bed right here, and then you would have plenty of room for anything else that you wanted to do, or you could put your king bed here, and then you could put a TV up there if you're the TV in the bedroom kind of people. We're not, but that's really up to you. If you want it, there it is. It's ready to go for you. Also, nice tiered ceilings on the top with your ceiling fan. That's nice and fashionable, brand new, like I said. As we come in here, you have your primary bathroom. You have 2 sinks and double vanities, so it's not just one vanity with 2 sinks. Plenty of storage, plenty of places for his and hers areas. And then, come over here, you're gonna see quite a cool and fashionable shower. I mean, it's up to you whether or not you like this black tile. I think it works for the aesthetic of the house, but again, it's up to you if you're the one who decides if you like it. Rainfall shower head, which is really nice luxury, and then of course a handheld sprayer as well. Come in here and you're gonna see a amply sized primary closet with a makeup bar. So this is where my wife would be doing her makeup. Right now she does it in our second bathroom downstairs, but this is where she would be doing her makeup. She could keep all her stuff here, all her makeup that keeps her looking beautiful. And then this is, of course, your primary closet with plenty of space. Not as big as some primary closets, but again, wait until you hear the price because, again, you're gonna be paying like probably $100 grand more in some other parts of the Kansas City Metro. Let's go downstairs and you're not gonna believe this basement. Okay, you can see nice and wide staircase that descends all the way down to a awesome space, to be honest with you. You can feel the heat kind of dissipate down here because we're underground, and this is a space that during your summers, this is, you don't want to furnish this out with a television or something to hang out down here. For me, it might become a library where you could read some books, but it is notably cooler down here because it's pushing 85 degrees upstairs or outside right now, and it's a huge space, even bigger than the upstairs living area, and you could have really room for so many activities, like Will Ferrell said in Step Brothers, right? All the activities that you could possibly want down here, and you know what? You could keep a lot cooler doing them as well. Like I said, 3 separate bathrooms and your laundry area, so let's go into one. One thing that you may or may not know, if you watch this channel, you probably do, is that 2 things that you need in a conforming Kansas City bedroom are gonna be your closet and then your egress. So what's nice is because it's a reverse 1.5 and you have your walkout, you can easily qualify for egress. It has to be, I think it's 34 inches. I may not be remembering that exactly correct, but 34 inches off the ground so that kids can get out in case of an emergency. But this would definitely qualify. This is a great bedroom for your guests. And then 2, what's nice about it being a reverse 1.5 is that there's separate entrance right here. So if you wanted to have guests over and they didn't want to come through your main living area, you could have them go around the house, walk in through the sliding glass door, and sleep down here. So here you have the second of the primary bedrooms, and it kind of has an en-suite. I mean, you could see there's no real wall here, so this is actually not exactly attached to the bedroom, but you do have that, and then you do have a linens closet here. But take a peek into that bathroom. I mean, it's a pretty good size for a basement bathroom. You've got your shower, and then down here, you've got another room that stays very, very cool right underneath the primary bedroom that can fit Easily a king size bed if you want it. And then the nice perk with this one too is that it actually does have a semi walk-in closet. So as you come through, you can go inside here and get dressed. Now, if you have some clothes hanging here, it might be a little cramped. So you probably want to bring your clothes out and get dressed outside, but you know, this is pretty good size for a basement bedroom. Let's go over here and see the last bedroom before I tell you the price, because again, this is crazy value for what you can get comparatively in other areas of Kansas City. Here you have, of course, your washer dryer. One negative about this is that, you know, earlier I said before, one level living, you do unfortunately have to come downstairs in order to do your laundry. I mean, it is what it is. And then over here, this would be where my kids would put all their play stuff. And this is a super cool playroom in here. Of course, you could just use it for closet storage, but my kids like to be in like closets and like closed spaces, so they would go in there and have their fun. And then this is the only part of the basement that's really not finished. You can peek in there and you can see the utilities. It's nice because all of it is right here, easily accessible to change your water filter if you need to do anything with your hot water tank. You got your sump pump. It's all right there, hidden away. Once you close that, completely gone. And then the last bedroom is gonna be the smallest, but here you've got your water shut off for the entirety of the property. So in case you had some emergency, you'd come down here. And then it's already set up for Google Fiber. So that's really great too. Now, I teased you about the price long enough. This whole thing, including 1 acre, is $505,000. Now that is truly, truly incredible. You cannot find that type of value anywhere else for such a large house, a reverse 1.5 on an acre, except for Grandview, Missouri. But maybe you're watching this video and you're saying, you know what, Grandview seems cool, but it's not for me, and you want to check out a different area. Click right here.